Shabbat Shalom! Did you know this fun fact about KU? Most people think Kansas is absolutely flat. Lots of greenery, no scenery. But KU, interestingly, is actually on top of a mountain. In fact, one of the most popular t-shirts on campus is a shirt that has an image of a young person climbing up the hill with the words, "Hill, yes." What does that mean for me and you? In this week's Torah portion, God tells the Jewish people that when they enter the land of Israel, they should build a magnificent, beautiful temple as a home for God in this world. But here's where it gets really interesting. Maimonides tells us that this temple actually was not constructed on flat ground. It was actually constructed on top of a mountain. The western wall that we're all familiar with was actually the outer wall surrounding that mountain. But here's where it gets really interesting. The temple was actually not built on top of the mountain. It was built in a gradient form, where each level of the temple goes up higher and higher on the mountain. So when you enter the outer courtyard of the temple, which is the lowest spiritual place, it's on this area. When you go to the next level of spirituality, you also have to go up some steps to elevate yourself physically as well. So every level of the temple not only went up spiritually, but also went up physically. There's a powerful message here, my friends. You see, God is telling each one of us that it is so important that everything we go through life, every place and every space, not only should we elevate ourselves spiritually, but we have a responsibility that the ground beneath us becomes sacred as well, to the extent that the ground actually lifts itself up and takes you higher. This is the message, my friends. As we start a new week, a new month, it is incumbent upon you and me that wherever we go this coming week, every space that we enter, we elevate that space with holiness and spiritual energy until the space itself is elevated. This week, sadly, in Lawrence, people came full of hate and distributed pamphlets full of anti-Semitism. Their goal was to create a space of darkness and negativity. We counter that with light and love. What we need to do is make sure that every room you enter the coming week, every space that you go, when you leave that space, everybody knows that you were just here because you elevated that space, made it holier, brighter, and infused with light and spirituality. Shabbat Shalom, and keep climbing.